So I'm Zach Myers. I am a ceramic artist working out of Sacramento, California, and I'm here today to introduce Eddie Orrego. Eddie is a ceramic artist working out of Palo Alto, East Palo Alto, in California. We met together up in Humboldt State in Arcata, California in the ceramics department. So Eddie, I invited you to join this exhibition in Sonoma, California called Common Ground. What are your thoughts on that title, Common Ground, and how do you think your art integrates into that?
Hey everybody, hi Zach. So that's a really great question. When I was my last year at Humboldt State is when I think we started to collaborate on a lot of projects and like in the kiln yard. And I think that the term common ground applies to some of the things that I think I was trying to sort of unfold that semester and that year. Socially, a lot of things were happening, and I think that I kind of tapped into this idea about representation and representation of people of color in the arts. And I kind of wanted to hijack like iconographical like statuary like sculptures and sort of give them a different take. And in doing that, I kind of wanted to use this language of the Renaissance to sort of talk about this rebirth that is happening socially, that you might say came to a head in the last couple of months. So yeah, to me, that is kind of like a common ground, sort of using that language to have that discussion or to enter that discussion about, you know, equitable or equal representation of people in the arts.
I think artworks can be something that bridge the gap between different echo chambers. When you get somebody that's 180 degrees away from somebody else in terms of their ideology, sometimes it can be like an impasse trying to have any sort of real discourse. But art objects sometimes are hard to interpret, and they open up multiple avenues for interpretation. So I think that is something that can lead people to common ground, is having genuine discourse. Things that push people into separate spaces aren't conducive to having any sort of real resolutions. With your work, what sort of thoughts do you have on iconography of art history, and like what are you trying to say about that with your work?
So I became really enamored with like European kind of culture after a class in my community college. And I remember going through this period of time where I wanted to like just uncover all of these like classical ideas and learn this like vocabulary because it was really interesting to me, right? But little by little, I started to unpack some of the reasons why that was kind of causing a lot of sort of issues for me, like identity-wise. So I decided to pursue arts full-time and use that as a vehicle to sort of unpack some of the things that were happening internally for me. And so that was sort of what my last sort of body of work was supposed to sort of help me to sort of process that and sort of come to terms with these two sort of like clashing hemispheres or ideas, you know, like, and sort of trying to reach a compromise between my fascination with like Greek and Roman statuary, and also with how I identify as a person of color.
I find myself also at odds with the cultures that I'm kind of surrounded with. There's part of my world that is this very right wing, and then this is part of my world that's very left wing. I'm in the middle of these meeting grounds between this urban space in the valley and then this really rural space in the valley that are coming together and bringing really conflicting ideas. Especially over the last year when we started having broader conversations about racial politics and identity politics, it felt kind of like being like I was having to facilitate conversations that I didn't have any helpful information about. So I found that it was cathartic and meditative, although it didn't really bring any resolutions, to make artwork that kind of talked about how there is an impasse and how these echo chambers aren't connecting through kind of simple symbolisms. I'm excited to share your work with everybody. I'm excited to have this platform of NCECA to kind of lift up this artwork and promote some of these dialogues. I'm hopeful that our work touches somebody or makes them think twice about some sort of idea that they're having.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, it was a pleasure, Eddie. And everyone, feel free to check out the Sonoma show. It's in the other links in this booth. And for now, thanks so much.